Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Tuesday, August 9th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great television archives at the tabs at the top of the page. We have Speaking Sexually with Dr. Kathy Naughton down at the bottom. Also, Eye Candy, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. And our rock and roll poll question yesterday was, would you favor a ban on the sale of laser pointers in order to stop people from using them to interfere with air traffic? We just had a situation down in Webster Groves a while back where people are shining at police helicopters. It lights up the entire cabin. The guys are flying around. They can't see. Now you're flying a helicopter and you can't see where you're going. You're over a residential area. So 63% of you said yes, not a bad idea. 37% of you said no. And I understand both points. All I know is we got guys flying around and idiots are pointing laser pointers at them. And how would your life change? How would your life be different tomorrow if you didn't have access to a laser pointer? I mean, think about it. Really, are they necessary? Your cat would have to go back to just chasing imaginary things as opposed to you pointing that thing around, and maybe a professor or somebody like that might have trouble. And you can still sell the industrial ones for excavating and architecture and stuff like that, but very interesting. All right, this sounds like, it's 1995 or something, but I'm going to ask this question anyhow because I think it's relevant, because over the weekend, this past weekend, JonBenet Ramsey would have turned 21. That's how old we all are, by the way. But she would have turned 21. So, just for grins, thought we'd ask this question. Who do you think killed her? After all this time we've had to think about it, and you sort of sit there and you go, well, who did do this little kid in? Was it her mother, her father, another member of the family, someone the family knew, or a total stranger? I'm dying to find out what your answer is to this rock and roll poll question. It's off in the corner. All right. Last night, we're playing ball, the men's senior baseball league. Again, I stress this is baseball, not softball. I always make that clarification because people hear me say baseball, but for whatever reason, they just assume it's softball. So I'm playing, and we're having a pretty good game. I'm pitching the first 3 innings. And I've given up no hits. I'm doing great. And I walk a guy, and the guy looks like he's going to steal, so the pitcher calls for a pitch out. Now, you've seen this a million times. You know where I'm going with this already. You see this on intentional walks, too. The hardest thing to do when you are trained and you got your mind sort of zeroed in to the idea of throw strikes, throw strikes, throw strikes. When you have to throw a ball intentionally, your brain won't let you do it sometimes. And so I put one about this high on a guy, and he hit it over the center fielder's head. Bounced off the wall, run scored. It was the only hit, the only run I gave up last night. It was my own dumbass fault. Can't throw a ball. Got back home last night and started getting email, thank you very much, on the response to the first I'm Just Saying I did on Channel 5's 10 o'clock news. We did a piece last night about the convention that's in town right now. Actually, it's leaving today. But the convention that's in town right now for people who plan conventions. And so they're looking around trying to decide if St. Louis is a good destination. And they hear all this stuff about puppy mills and meth labs, puppy mills and meth labs, and gonorrhea and crime and all that. So I was doing a piece about that. Unfortunately, as is often the case when you do that stuff and it's somebody else's hands, they edit it. And sometimes they take out the best part. They took out the best part last night, my own fault. I made it too long. But there was a line in there about, we got these crazy people. The gist of the piece, and you'll be able to see it on Eye Candy, which is right below what you're looking at right now. And I was talking about, we're not like any other city. We get all this bad publicity, but when it comes right down to it, any major city has its problems, and you get your crime problems or whatever the problem is in that particular community. We're not so bad after all. I said, we got this crazy alderman in North St. Louis who wants to shoot stray dogs, and I said, you better be careful in that part of town. The dogs might shoot back. Okay, pretty funny line. Got cut out of the piece. My fault. I made it too long. We got a 9/11 piece coming up in a couple of days. I'll talk to you about it later, and then I'll just start writing them shorter so they don't have to cut anything. All right, they're going to make a remake of Dirty Dancing. Not sure that's a good idea. The Three Stooges movie, they're making that right now. The Farrelly brothers, the guys who did There's Something About Mary and stuff like that. And nobody thinks this is a good idea. And now, do you think it's any better of an idea? There's those damn boar bees again. I'm watching them right now. They're chewing into my deck. Oh, if I had something, I feel like going over and whacking that thing right now, but it would probably attack me. There he goes, right in there. I'm going to get a stick and shove that stick inside there and squish his sorry ass. Can you just wait 1 minute here while I do that? Because the boar bee goes into the hole and he digs a hole, but if you take a stick and jam it up there, it's his sorry ass. I'll be right back. Just don't go anywhere, okay? Hold on. I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. If you hear a loud yelp, it means that this plan was a bad idea and the bee attacked me. Hold on here. I'm trying to find him right now. There he is. Whoa! Yep, see, he came after me. He came after me. He knew what I was going to do. I was going to take this thing and shove it right up there. Shove it up his ass. But anyhow, now this Three Stooges movie, if you were concerned about it before, be concerned about it even more, because the cast of the Jersey Shore has a cameo in the movie. Which is interesting, too, because they did a new study at UCLA, a psychology professor, and he basically said that preteens, when we were all kids, used to watch TV shows that taught them values about the community, benevolence, self-acceptance, stuff like Andy Griffith, Happy Days, Leave It to Beaver. You know, you'd watch those shows and you'd learn a little bit about life, and there was always sort of a moral to the story and everything like that. But today's 9 to 11-year-olds are watching shows like Hannah Montana and American Idol, where the only real message is being famous. You're going to start selling beer at 20 of the 119 major college football stadiums at the concession stands this year. So much for the integrity of the game. The profits take over. Remember those old TV shows in the 1970s, those cop shows like Cannon, where you had a big 350-pound fat guy, with a box of donuts waddling along, and somehow he would still chase down and catch the 17-year-old black kid who was the basketball star who stole the car and was running away from police and jumping from rooftop to rooftop, and Cannon somehow would still catch up with him. Yesterday in Manhattan, a guy robbed somebody and then was doing that. He'd run to the top of a building, saw it on TV, was jumping from rooftop to rooftop. You figured it out, didn't you? He didn't make it. According to a new study, 90% of the food in brown bag school lunches reaches unsafe temperatures before lunchtime. You could see that coming, absolutely. In his latest rant, Kanye West complains that he says he needs to be the Michael Jordan of music. Well, I agree with that. He should have retired a couple of years ago. Whitney Houston turns 48 today. She's already got the perfect present this year, outliving Amy Winehouse. And the Dow dropped 634 points yesterday. Things are so bad, President Obama is distancing himself from himself. Forest Service unleashed their hairy fire prevention. They introduced Smokey the Bear on this date in 1944. This got me a lot of attention and publicity and friendship and acceptability my first year in college, because it was one of my very early impressions. You know, back when I would look up to guys and they go, do it for my girlfriend. And go, remember, only you can prevent forest fires. And guys would laugh, the girls would laugh, the guy would get laid, guys would like me. So on this date in 1969, it's Sharon Tate, very, very pretty blonde actress, and 4 others were found murdered in the home Tate shared with her husband, director Roman Polanski. Charles Manson and his insane followers were later convicted of the murders. Al Wyman, who used to be on Channel 4, was the guy who really broke the case back in Los Angeles in the late 1960s. It's a tremendous story that Al tells. Just unbelievable how he found the creepy crawlies, the bloody clothes that they threw out of the car after they committed the murders. Al Wyman broke that case for the LAPD. It's an amazing story. And every time I hear Al tell it, it's even more amazing to think that he was the guy who broke that story. All right, what else we got here? That's it. I got nothing else. All right, so JC's Eye Candy today is, this I'm Just Saying from last night. You can check that out. And our rock and roll poll question, who killed John Benet Ramsey? After all this time, she would have turned 21 this past weekend. Who did it? Mother, father, another member of the family, someone the family knew, or a total stranger? Those are your choices. All right, Trish Gazelle and I are on the air every day from noon till 3 on the Big 550 KTRS. Of course, Monday we have Al Roboski. Tuesday today we have Eric Mink. Wednesday is Scott Sherman, our legal eagle. Thursday we have professional comedian Joe Marlotti, and Smash is with us every Friday. That's on the Big 550 KTRS from noon until 3 with me and Trish. Trish is trash. We do that every day too. That's it. JC's Daily Dose for Tuesday, August 9th, 2011. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.